out there on the hustings, what's the final 24 hours been like out there?
It's been absolute madness. We're absolutely crawling to the end now. So we visited about 3 states in the last 2 days. We went from Tassie, did a little whistle-stop trip to Sydney and then to Perth. And we were in Perth today and we visited 3 of the Liberal Party's most marginal seats, or ones that they're trying to hold on to. So Swan, Hasluck and Pearce. And basically it's been a lot of visits to community clubs where they're splashing a lot of cash around ahead of election tomorrow.
Yeah, indeed. Liv, you yourself have been on the hustings for so long now. Time isn't even a thing anymore. How's the energy of the Prime Minister and, more importantly, the candidates that he's meeting with?
Look, I didn't actually think he was that peppy today. He had a press conference at another house spruiking his new super housing policy, and he faced quite a few tough questions, especially around foreign aid funding. So there was a report in The Australian today that basically both Maurice Payne and DFAT had called for more funding for the Pacific Islands, and basically it had gone nowhere. And so he was grilled on that, and I did feel like he was slightly kind of uncomfortable, and probably was one of his worst performances this week when it comes to press conferences. However, by the time that we sort of started hitting the community groups, so for example we went to a rugby club for lunch, he seemed much more at ease and meeting with the locals who received him very warmly, no doubt because they just received millions of dollars to upgrade their club. But yes, he did seem more comfortable as the day went on.
Yeah. Look, Mrs Morrison has joined him for the past week on the hustings, and he's been joined by his candidates and a number of other Liberal Party members. More importantly, what's the response been to him and the wider Liberal Party out there in the real world, do you think, Liv?
Well, the truth is, we don't really know. We are operating in a highly choreographed setting here on the bus. So we're basically going from press conference to press conference or to community announcement. And so we're not actually getting a lot of real life experience in terms of actually speaking to people. There's been no kind of street walks or stuff like that. So the people that he is communicating with are usually pretty chirpy and happy because they're excited the Prime Minister's there and they've usually received some kind of funding. So I'd say that is interesting.
You interviewed Scott Morrison earlier today, and he had something quite interesting to say about life after politics if he doesn't win.
If you weren't in politics, what job would you have wanted to do?
I probably would have been a church pastor.
Okay. Yeah.
It was very interesting, that response. I wasn't sure that I expected that, but I think at least he's got another career to fall back on if he's not successful tomorrow.
Indeed. Olivia Caisley, Federal Political Editor for the Oz.com.au. Thank you so very much for joining us.
Thanks so much.